Hello, everybody, and welcome to Too Sweet to Delete, the brand new channel dedicated to the topics that you love. We're here to do another sports ramble with beer. I'm here with my best friends. We've got Gurkalicious. We've got Jason the Dingo. We are here at the Wilbur Club headquarters in Las Vegas, Nevada, ready to provide you with the greatest, hottest topics right now. The LA Chargers. Wow. This is happening. I've been a lifelong Chargers fan. As you can see, I'm wearing my brand new LA Chargers hat. What do we even think? Why did this happen? What does this mean?
Can't expect taxpayers to pay for your stadium, for your football team.
Yes, this all began, like I said, as a Charger fan. I followed the team for the longest. This all really began with there was calls for a new stadium. I guess we can all talk on a different subject one day about billionaires with billion-dollar companies like NFL teams asking for taxpayers to provide money to pay for their projects, which are in the long run going to benefit them again by billions. So, but yeah, the taxpayers of San Diego and San Diego County, they refused to go ahead and pay for a new stadium. So that was always in the talks. The games were always blacked out because they weren't selling out at the old school Q, which used to be Jack Murphy Field, old school landmarks.
That's what, Qualcomm?
And now, yeah, the Q, Qualcomm Stadium. And, that thing is just beat down. And they use it for everything in San Diego for any major venue. So you'd be playing a game the day after some people just mosh pitted.
I tailgated during the Super Bowl in 2003. It was Buccaneers versus the Raiders. I didn't have tickets to go inside, but we took a trolley and tailgated with some friends there.
And now no one will be taking trolleys to go watch football games there at all. They will be moving on to... Where are they going, Dingo?
LA?
No, I'm sorry. No, they're going to be playing at the StubHub Center, which is... Right, yeah. Where is that in? That's in Carson, I believe, yes?
Yeah, sure. I don't... Fuck that shit. I don't know, man.
Jesus.
Swear jar.
Swear jar, guys.
This is a sports ramble with beer and friends.
My bad.
It's okay. But no, so the StubHub Center is in Carson, California. It seats 32,000 only, which is a nice number when you think about a venue unrelated to NFL, which is super money driven. So they're not going to probably want to stay there for too long. I'm sure a new stadium will be built soon. What was the comment about the Coliseum and the Rams? Why aren't they sharing...
because the Rams went to the Coliseum for I don't know, I think it was just their first year. Why do we always have to ask me the ones where there's multiple championships, multiple years or something? Because I'm always there's 2 or 3 maybe.
Because
he's a good guesser.
I always say I don't fucking know.
Swear jar.
Swear jar.
That's 3 within a minute or 2.
We are on pace, ladies and gentlemen,
we're
for
breaking
records. So sorry,
as
I just wanted to kind of cover this because I am a Chargers fan. I am loyal to the brand, the Bolt, the Chargers. Who knows if they change the logo? Who knows if they change the brand? I'm sure they'll still be the Chargers. This is a 56-year-old franchise. The San Diego Superchargers began in San Diego 56 years ago. So it is sad to see them go, but the connection to the city seemed to have been lost once the ownership was upset about losing the stadium. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and move on to a subject that we all really know and love. Something that we can all agree on is probably the most entertaining and our favorite sport right now is MMA, the world of mixed martial arts, which, of course, Meryl Streep, eat your heart out.
It is an art.
It is an art. It is an art. Yep. Exactly. It is an art that is too sweet. So we would love to cover that with you guys. We're going to talk about Ronda Rousey. What is the deal with her? Is she done?
I don't know. I think JP was talking about it earlier off camera about a good analogy that you were using where they could build on her.
It's very difficult because, she's coming off not only 2 losses in a row, but 2 devastating knockout losses in a row. One with a brutal head kick that totally dislocated her jaw in several places. She had a video on her Instagram several months later after the fight where she was biting into an apple, and this is supposed to be this glorious moment of her recovery, and it's well, this girl's not serious about coming back anytime soon. So she takes an entire calendar year off, gets a title shot right away against Amanda Nunes, and I mean, 48 seconds later.
Yeah, she gets her butt whooped. She needs to change camps. Bottom line, if she wants to have another fight and she doesn't want to retire on a loss, she needs to change camps.
Do you think she will fight again?
I hope she does, but
I think we can all hope. We would all love to see her fight again. She is.
I don't see.
She probably isn't the same draw she used to be.
That doesn't sound like the Ronda that we've seen. Like for her to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go out on a loss. She wants to go out on top.
That said the exact opposite, where he said she didn't have a fighter. Was it Brendan Schaub?
Brendan Schaub, who was on the Joe Rogan Experience, did say she didn't really always have a fighter's mentality. He, of course, famously dated Ronda Rousey for an extended period of time before she was with her current boyfriend, Travis Brown. So apparently she likes big brown men. But no, so she had the movie. She was in the movie Entourage. She was playing a badass.
She was playing herself.
She was playing herself at the time. After these losses, who wants to go see? Apparently, Roadhouse, the remake of Roadhouse, is still on the shelf somewhere. So it's not gonna happen. So who knows? Her earning potential could be outside of Hollywood and MMA altogether. Who knows? Maybe WWE is in the future. We all know a couple years ago she was at WrestleMania, did an appearance with The Rock, and had a really cool, successful angle there. So moving on, Floyd Mayweather was on ESPN a couple days ago talking about how the only thing that could lure him out of retirement would be possibly something to do with Conor McGregor. Conor's obviously the biggest draw that the MMA has right now, especially after the losses of the likes of Sage Northcutt and Ronda Rousey, Paige Van Zandt. So there's no up-and-comers. There's only the already established top guys. Conor's obviously that guy at the top of the mountain.
Right. It's all we know. Floyd, what talks for him is the money. I think he wants what, $100 million for a fight?
He says $100 million guaranteed on his end.
Floyd's guaranteed $100 million, so he wants a fair share.
And I mean, what's fair for Conor to have? But because Mayweather's right, there's just no large purses in MMA.
Yeah, Floyd said publicly on ESPN again during this interview that, whatever he has earned previously, we're willing to double what he's earned. So in his previous fight against Eddie Alvarez, which was a huge, huge draw, huge sellout type of pay-per-view fight, and he absolutely dominated Eddie Alvarez in just an overmatched striking display of prowess. So let's say he earned $6 million for that fight. That's figurative. We haven't really looked at the figures. We're just kind of pulling that out. Floyd is automatically agreeing to, say, give you $12 million. But Conor wants $100 million to do the boxing fight because, of course, he's jumping into Floyd's realm, into Floyd's rules, having to sacrifice his skill set of being a complete fighter, martial artist, when you include the kicking, the grappling, the clinch nuances, and then now just turning this into a pure boxing movement and clinch punch throwing contest.
Yeah,
I mean, he has no demand to get $100 million. I mean, we can agree on that, right? Or
of course,
does he bring enough international attention to actually provide that? Again, he's the biggest draw. He's easily the biggest draw in MMA. Rousey again has fallen. Brock Lesnar is part of the next subject that we're going to segue into, which is the lawsuit that Mark Hunt has filed against Brock Lesnar and Dana White and the organization, which I believe is called IMG, I want to say.
Yeah.
That now owns UFC. They bought it for $4 billion.
Yeah.
So now they're being sued for
allowing a fight that shouldn't have happened because he tested positive.
Brock Lesnar did against Mark Hunt at UFC 200. The affidavit or the lawsuit alleges that they knowingly and willingly put him in risk, knowing that they put him in there with a guy that had tested positive for illegal substances.
Right.
At first, when the announcement came back that Brock was going to be back, he's a huge draw for MMA because he has that huge WWE following. He is also a former heavyweight champion of the UFC. Still a little known fact that people don't like to touch on. He has the most title defenses in UFC heavyweight history at 2. So, I mean, because, the belt's so damn hard to hold on to, there's no easy pickings in UFC.
He beat The Undertaker.
He beat The Undertaker. He broke the streak. So, he, of course, was a big draw. They exempted him from the USADA doping agency testings, which he was exempted up to 4 months before. So whatever he had put in his body up to 4 months was automatically just tossed right out the window.
How much did he get fined again?
I don't remember. I want to say it was $500,000, but his purse was purse was in the millions. I want to say he made $3 million.
Ronda and McGregor had $3 million as the record purse.
Well, Brock had to be close to that then. Again, not knowing right off the bat, but we support Mark Hunt all the way here. We are WWE fans. We're MMA fans. When you're talking about the purity of the sport, especially in fighting, cheating with steroids in a fight sport is just absolutely criminal.
What's terrible is that John Jones was on that same card.
Tested for the same substance that Lesnar did, and he wasn't allowed to fight.
And he was pulled. That fight didn't go on. No, why? I guess money talks.
Yeah, in the end, it was...
Is that right, Dana?
In the end, it must have been Uncle Dana saying that we have to let this go on. We can't drop both guys. So, that is happening. Again, we wish Mark Hunt all the best in that. A lot of guys have been unsuccessful lately. There was a formation to start a fighters union. Guys the likes of John Fitch, Cowboy Cerrone, former fighters like Randy Couture, Pat Miletich have jumped on the bandwagon saying, hey, these guys got to get unionized. They need to be paid. When they're pulling in numbers that are bigger than boxing, for a company that just was sold for $4 billion, they should be getting paid equivalent to some of these top guys in boxing. And when you really look at the way the purse layouts go, it's not a lot of money. Again, with the actual signing of Reebok being the official uniform, now these guys don't even get to wear their sponsors in the ring during their fights.
So fighters are barely making anything in comparative to just any average boxer.
Which is why Conor has to be an anomaly. Look at the money that he generates, the hype that he generates. There's been European guys that have come through before, but never really had the same success that he has had.
His mouth, too, though. His mouth gets him hyped more.
He's got a great promo.
He backs it up, but yeah, he can talk, so it makes him so much more interesting than these guys that are just like, I'm going to go in there and punch you.
That's true. He really does talk, and he's backed up everything. Even in the loss that he had to Diaz, that thing was a war. They were peppering each other. He got stunned. He gave up a compromising position, and then he was submitted by a superior grappler. In the next Diaz fight, he backed up everything he said. They stood there toe-to-toe, and they really made it out. So, hopefully we see more people kind of coming to the top. This is a cutthroat game. Not saying that the organization is cutthroat, but there are no easy fights in UFC. Look at a guy like CM Punk. They gave him a kid that no one had heard of, and the guy happens to be an 8-year veteran on the amateur circuit. So, there's no easy fights. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and go into a pick segment where we're going to talk about the playoffs coming up this weekend.
NFL playoffs. Yes, do it.
Dingo is juiced because he is a huge fan of the home field advantage team in the first matchup. We're going to talk about the Seattle Seahawks.
Hell yeah.
His team against the Atlanta Falcons, the bird battle here.
Yeah, the little dirty birds.
The dirty birds and the Hawks are going to go at it. Who do you got?
Of course, Seattle. All the way, baby.
Seattle all the way. Not going to pick any scores or anything, but I kind of envision this one being a bit more higher scoring than we would imagine. I think that Seattle's going to click, so I'm going to go with Seattle. Who do you got, Girk?
I got to go with Atlanta. I had Julio Jones, who carried my fantasy team. He goes down with an injury, and next thing you know, I sucked it up in the playoffs, and I'm out. But Julio Jones, they have Matty Ice and Devontae Freeman.
That's a vicious
team. It's a three-headed beast, and you're going to get a heavy dose of all three of them. And to be able to contain the pass and the run game and keep that in check.
That team, though, has yet to be able to go ahead and win a big game.
Right.
Or step up in a big moment. So that'll be anxious to see because, I mean, that's a Madden King team right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a team that you could put 56 on the computer, no problem. But so, yeah, we'll see. So we have Seattle and Seattle. On the computer. I mean, I'm terrible. I play online. People beat me 1,000.
The only difference is
I play on
Seattle. They're human beings, so
that's true. So yes, human beings do have something to say about the final score. So we're gonna go ahead with Seattle, Atlanta for that first matchup.
Remember that.
Next in the NFC, we have Dallas at home against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay just beat your beloved Giants. Right. What do you got? Who do you got?
Man, I want to go with Green Bay. I'm going to pick Green Bay. However, I'm going to say Dallas will win. But I'm picking Green Bay.
You can't hedge your bets on this.
I'm picking Green Bay.
We haven't decided. There's no punishments for anything yet.
My money would be going on Green Bay. But however, yeah, Dallas is pretty good too. I just think Green Bay is going to expose Dallas. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. Big time playoff game. This is a huge stage for them to get their starts on. They're gonna fail. Green Bay's gonna take it. Our boy Brandon is gonna be very happy this weekend.
Dingo, who do you got?
I'm going with Dallas because.
Is this about the football?
Yeah, I want something special to happen. Not something bad to happen to this poor quarterback for Dallas, but if Mark Sanchez could get in there and win a game and then take Dallas all the way through, he scores like 35 touchdowns in one game.
35 touchdowns is not cricket.
Because he has an autographed football.
This football that I have in my closet, Mark Sanchez, will maybe be worth something someday.
It's like saying I have an autographed Lawrence Taylor football, and he needs to redeem himself and be like the first person to put his foot on Mars, like for that football to go up in price.
That probably is the likelihood of Sanchez getting in there and winning anything for the Cowboys. I'm going to go ahead and go with my heart. I have to go with Green Bay, even though I don't think they'll be able to stop the Dallas run game. We'll see. Dallas doesn't turn the ball over. They don't really beat themselves, but like
we all know, they sure did stop the Giants.
The playoffs, the football gods have a strange way of showing themselves. Next matchup, guys, we move on to the AFC. We have the New England Patriots against the Houston Texans. This is the easiest pick of the week, obviously. I think we can probably run through this one. New England obviously takes this one easily. Right?
Easily.
Yeah.
All the way.
Easily.
Yeah. Belichick is the former boss dog of Coach Bill O'Brien of the Texans, so I'm sure that he'll want to beat his former assistant quite handily. Belichick is very petty, especially in the playoffs, so expect to see this one be like 56-0. Seriously, not kidding.
I mean, Houston has just been
24-10.
Injuries. They have
24-10 is a better guess than 56.
They just lost their quarterback, Texans. They're gonna get their butts whooped.
That's gonna happen. Okay, moving on to probably the most interesting and most intriguing game of the playoffs, other than Atlanta-Seattle, in my opinion. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs. The game's at Arrowhead. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. That place is insane. As a Charger fan, we have to play them once every year there, and it never fails. That place is loud. A zoo. It's almost as loud as the 12-man stadium, and the 12-man stadium was actually built for noise. So that's comparative to how loud the KC fans are, because that place is an open-air stadium, and it just gets jamming. So I have the Chiefs in a high-scoring, exciting affair.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. If I had an AFC team, Pittsburgh would be my team. They play very smash mouth. I love Big Ben, just a tough quarterback. Antonio Brown's unstoppable right now. And then you have Le'Veon Bell, who's no joke.
With the best vision in the game right now.
So good right now. And these guys are going to click. I would say Pittsburgh would take it all. If it comes down to it right now, I would take Pittsburgh. I would say Pittsburgh versus Atlanta. Pittsburgh winning it all.
Wow! So you're gonna go ahead and go with
my Super Bowl picks.
So here it is, folks. It's a shoot now. If Girk loses any one of his picks,
oh no,
he is out of being able to pick. He will just have to host us.
Because I'm just gonna say here.
Well, that's exactly what you do anyway.
Right. Tonight, for sure.
That's what he does anyway. So, Dingo.
Cat fight.
Another cat fight out there here on the east side. Dingo, go ahead. Who do you got for Pittsburgh versus KC?
KC, because
Excellent choice.
I don't like anything Pittsburgh. The Penguins, the Steelers.
He doesn't like black or yellow.
He doesn't
Black
like black
or
or yellow.
He hates bees.
He hates bees.
Bees are terrible.
He hates
Leopards.
steel. Anything that has to do with Pittsburgh. I actually heard him the other day said that if we were going to give America an enema, that you would have to put the hose into Pittsburgh. So that's a shoot. He said that. It wasn't me. That was not me that was saying that. Anyway, you have our picks. Hold us to them. Please join us next week for the next Drunken Sports Ramble. We're going to go ahead and try to leave you here on a positive note. We are all too sweet.
Too sweet.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Gurkalicious. Check me out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/toosweettodelete. And on Twitch, we have Jason the Dingo, one word. So please check us out. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Do not be deleted.